All right, so today we're going to be talking about Alexander Fleming and some of his major discoveries and contributions to the field of microbiology. So Alexander Fleming was born on August 6th, 1881 in Scotland. He grew up in a farmhouse with three other siblings before he moved to London and attended the Polytechnic Institution. After school, he worked in a shipping office for 4 years before his older brother Tom suggested that he follow his footsteps and become a physician. In 1903, Alexander enrolled at St. Mary's Hospital Medical School, where he graduated with distinction. Eventually, he decided to join the research department at St. Mary's and became an assistant bacteriologist to Sir Almroth Wright. Shortly after, he enlisted and worked in battlefield hospitals at the Western Front in France, and when he finally returned, he worked primarily as a researcher at St. Mary's and made his first big discovery in 1921. When he was making agar plates, he noticed adding mucus enzymes to the plates inhibited bacterial growth. He tested this further by using samples of tears, blood, and cartilage containing lysozyme to inhibit bacterial growth. However, when he presented his results in 1922, nobody listened to him. It took until the end of the 20th century for people to fully realize and appreciate the importance of his discovery. Another one of his great discoveries was the first antibiotic, penicillin. In 1928, he was working on a bacteria called Staphylococcus aureus, and one day he inoculated staphylococci on culture plates and left it in a table in his lab while he went on holiday with his family. When he returned, he noticed one culture was contaminated with fungus that were killing the bacteria in its immediate vicinity, and he eventually isolated the fungus and identified it as a mold belonging to the genus Penicillium. When he grew the broth in pure culture, he found it contained an antibacterial substance, which he called penicillin. All right, so now we're going to show you guys some footage directly from his lab. Just another day in the life of a bacteria. Dr. Fleming just put some fungus near me, but I doubt that'll really do anything.
Ah! It burns! It burns! It's killing me!
Now for the reception of penicillin. Fleming presented his discovery on February 13, 1929, before the Medical Research Club, as well as publishing his findings within the British Journal of Experimental Pathology. However, little recognition and attention was given to Fleming's work. Even into the late 1930s, Fleming kept pushing for his work as a method of treating infections, but did not garner any support or interest. In 1940, an experiment carried out in Oxford was published, where penicillin was effectively purified in its stable form, thus creating the first form of the penicillin drug. It was at this point that Fleming was recognized for his role in the discovery of penicillin. As for the importance of penicillin, penicillin was the first discovered antibiotic. It's used to treat bacterial infections such as meningitis, staph infections, strep throat, and many more. Before penicillin, even minor bacterial infections were often deadly, with very few options available for treatment of these diseases. And post-surgical infections were a major issue. In the short term, penicillin helped treat the wounds of soldiers during World War II, reducing the number of deaths caused by infection. However, in the long term, the success of penicillin meant that scientists and researchers were able to begin discovering additional antibiotics, expanding the amount of treatable infections. For his work in microbiology and his discovery of penicillin, Fleming earned many awards throughout his career, from having his lab at St. Mary's Hospital, where he originally found penicillin, turned to the Fleming Museum, to his most important award of all, the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1945, which he has the honor of sharing with Ernst Boris Chain and Sir Howard Walter Florey, who aided in this vital discovery.